Hello everyone, my name is Pat. Welcome to my channel. Today is Bookmas Day 29. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. And today I am doing the reading survey. This is first started on YouTube by Kayla from Books and Lala, but this is inspired from a blog post. I'm going to link both of those original creators down below and the questions that I will be answering. There's some other questions on this one that I decided not to answer because it's not really something that is a large part of my reading. I will only be including all the questions that I answered in the description box. So the first question, how many books did you read in 2021? Right now, I read 194 books, and I probably will be able to get to 195, 96, maybe 97 by the end of the year. 194 for now. Most read genre is a fantasy. Shortest book is Camouflage, The Hidden Lives of Autistic Women by Sarah Bargella. This is 48 pages. The longest one is the Inheritance Trilogy. This is an omnibus, 1,442 pages long. I tried not to repeat any of these answers that I have, but of course I have repeated some, so I tried to keep the books in the least amount of questions as much as I can. Favorite 2021 release include As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson and People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. Favorite older releases include Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren, A Man Called Uva by Frederick Bachman, and All the Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace. Also the Graceling series, although there is a newer release in the series. The first two books especially, I remember reading when I was in high school still, so I was like 15, 16. It's a much older release. There's also Kim Ji-young, born 1982, Before the Coffee Gets Cold, Sesame Salt and Pudding, Sweat and Soap. These are both mangas, and some of them have just recently been released in terms of like the English translation, but the original novels were released a few years back. And then Beast of Extraordinary Circumstance by Ruth Emmy Lang. A book that lived up to the hype is A Man Called Uva. This has been talked about for years by a lot of people. And of course there's People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry as well. Actually didn't go into this one expecting to love it, but I ended with tears, just feeling sappy overall. Also, Take a Hint, Danny Brown by Talia Hibbert. Lived up to hype. I mean, I know it would live up to the hype. Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is a new release. This was released this year, but a lot of people love Taylor Jenkins Reid. A lot of people loved Malibu Rising because a lot of people have read the arc as well, so definitely lived up to the hype for me. The entire Arc of a Sight series, 100%. I love this book series. And The Invisible Life of Addy Larue, personally, for me, lived up to the hype. A book that didn't live up to the hype will be Den of Vipers. I went into this one hoping I will like it. I didn't. And also House of Salt and Sorrows. This one I didn't really hate like I did Den of Vipers. I liked it, but it was missing elements to me. I felt like the main character didn't really have a full personality because the elements, the dark elements, the creepy elements are so good. The atmosphere, the vibes are amazing. Just reading the story in her perspective, I feel like was just not very effective. I wanted to care. I could care. I could tell that I could, but from her perspective, it wasn't effective. Biggest reading accomplishment will be Behind the Flame series. It's only a duology, but these are thick, well-loved fantasy that I am so glad that I read this year. The one I recently finished, An Emma in the Ashes Quartet by Sabaa Tahir. And of course, one of my favorites now, the Daevabad trilogy by S.A. Chakraborty. These are all also very chunky books, and I love them. Favorite characters. Now I have a few, and these are only the ones. I really narrowed this down. Okay, so the first one is Nari from the Daevabad trilogy. Pip from A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. Ali as well from the Daevabad trilogy. Anna Sun from The Heart Principle. Rin from The Poppy War. I know. She is an anti-hero, but I love her. Helen Aquila from An Emma in the Ashes. Prince Bergron from Fire, second book in the Graceling Realm series. Valoria from Luck of the Titanic. This one also is another book that made me cry, and I really loved her character. Least favorite character, of course there are villains that I dislike, that you love to hate, but I would say probably from my DNF of this year, the main character in The Librarian book. Forgot the author and the title of the series because it's a series, so I didn't like her. She's the reason why I dropped the book. Favorite writing of the year definitely goes to Daevabad trilogy. I have moments in each of these books where I stopped reading a chapter or two, or some chapters, and I just that's a really beautifully written chapter. Daevabad trilogy by S.A. Chakraborty. A book you'll be recommending the most. I have a lot, and this one I really did not skimp on because I wanted to include all the ones that I really enjoyed. So first, People Will Meet on Vacation, The Sons of Arawiya duology by Hafsa Faisal, Land the Flame, and We See the Stars. Know My Name by Chanel Miller. I lent this to my mom, so I don't have my copy right now. Intuitive Eating, another non-fiction book that I will keep telling people to read. The Graceling Series, the Graceling Realm series. The All the Stars and Teeth duology. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. I don't have the first 2 books. I lent it to my sister. I've lent it for almost a year now, I think. A Month Called Uva, David Bad trilogy, Sweat and Soap, the manga. Favorite newly discovered authors are first Hafsa Faisal, author of the Sons of Arawiya series, S.A. Chakraborty, the author of the David Bad trilogy, R.F. Huang, the author of the Poppy War series. I've only read the first book, but I'm gonna get to the second and third books soon. I want to end my year reading some light fluffy books instead of really heavy dark books. So Sabah Tahir, of course, the author of The Ember and the Ashes Quartet, and K.S. Villanza, the author of the Chronicles of the Beach Queen trilogy. Favorite cover? Okay, I have a few ones. I'm gonna start with the regular editions first because those are the ones that you can readily and easily buy. So the first one is the Sons of Arawiya series. I was lucky that by the time that I planned to buy this series, they have recently came out with a new UK paperback editions. So I bought these. They're shiny, pretty, the art is amazing. I love looking at these, and they're soft touch and floppy. So the second book is more floppy than the first book. I don't know why, but I love these copies on top of the beautiful covers. And then I have Resorkar, Sisters of Tuscany by Laurie Nelson Spielman. Look at this beautiful cover. It really captures the beauty of Italy, even though I haven't been there. I've seen movies, I've seen pictures, but I feel like this one really captures Italy and the places that the characters go to in Italy. The reds, the sunset in the background, the 2 characters on bikes. It's beautiful. Field. It's beautiful. And then these 2 editions of If We Were Villains. Yes, I do have 2 editions. This is my first one that I own. I really like it. And they're both like the soft touch type book. I really like it with the dead bird and like the kind of embossing type thing that is in here. I actually thought that I owned the one with the skull because there's another one with a skull, and that one's really also very pretty. But I bought this one, this edition, and it's really simple. It's still all black, the white lettering with the vines. And it's very straightforward, very simple, but it definitely gives off that, dark academia vibe, I feel like. So, and then The Invisible Life of Addy Larue. I really like this regular just edition cover. This is the Book of the Month edition, but the regular hardcover and paperback of this one looks like this, like the original. This is the US edition. And then the entirety of the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series cover designs. But I really like this one. For example, you can see it's shiny only in certain parts and only the parts that have the duct tape. And you can feel like the texture of parts of the duct tape that's been like folded over in itself. You can feel it. You can feel the texture. It goes all the way to the back, and again, only the textured parts are the glass and the duct tape parts, which is like genius design, and I'm really glad that they did it because it adds such an amazing element to like the actual physical copy of the book. Also, the Bone Witch series. I love these covers. Like, they are also soft touch type. They have these pretty like foiling on the covers and all of them in usually dark backgrounds, but again, just the atmosphere that is created by the cover and the pretty like filigree design thing. I don't know if that's what you call like the foiling part. Love. And then going to my special editions. First is this one, Winterwood. This is from Owl Crate. The original cover is, I think, black, and this one is white all the way to the back, and it comes with this beautiful blue sprayed edge, and it also has the foiling tree design or branch design on the inside. And the Kingdom of Cards duology. This is also from Owl Crate. This one I got August of last year. And it's naked, but it's foil embossed on the hardcover. It features a code on the back, and the same thing with the second book. Naked, foil embossing all the way to the back, and features a coat. Really love these. And then my 2 special editions of The Invisible Life of Addy Larue. This one I got from Illumicrate. This one features the black design all the way to the back. This is the UK cover design, and then it has a metallic black sprayed edge The front hardcover features a foil embossing of the same art that's on the end papers, and of course it's signed. And of course, because I love this book, I got myself the special illustrated edition that comes with the stenciled sprayed edges of flowers. Features the white UK cover, UK style, UK design cover all the way across. It comes with a gold bookmark, and it has the same foil embossing design that is on the spine with the flowers and the stars. And then we have art on the end papers, different art, and all the different fan art on the inside of the book. Books that made you cry the most. Now, this is going to be an extensive list because I cry very easily. So the first one, Empire of Gold, that last chapter by the end, one of the beautifully written chapters that I mentioned earlier, also broke me. I was crying very hard. And if you saw my reading blog for that one, yeah, I was crying a lot. And it was like that painful, this is so unfair, just want them all to be happy, why do they have to suffer this heartbreak type of crying. So People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. This is more of a crying of when you feel so understood and seen through a book, through the characters. That's the kind of crying. It's also a little bit painful because it's painful kind of realization of seeing your reflection on another person type thing. The Resorkar Sisters of Tuscany. I remember reading the last 100 pages and just crying the entire 100 pages of this book. And it was a painful crying where you just want the characters to be happy and you're so heartbroken that they have to be heartbroken, you know? Good Girl, Bad Blood, the second book in the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I did not expect that to make me cry, but especially I think it's during that last third of the book that I was like really crying. The last book, and then we're in the Ashes Quartet, Sky Beyond the Storm. Yeah, it made me cry a lot too. I just wanted, again, it's one of those things that I just wanted all of them to be happy. I just wanted all the characters to not experience heartbreak, but of course they will. And it's just so painful because they've gone through so much already and you just want them to be happy. The Heart Principle by Helen Huang. I do own this book, but it's somewhere up there and I keep getting a lot of books and it's messing with me, so I just can't get it right now. But this one is another one that I didn't expect to make me cry as much as it did, and the way that I also related to the character is part of it. Luck of the Titanic by Stacey Lee. Yeah, this one made me cry too, a lot. Same kind of crying where you just want all of the characters to be happy because they deserve that happiness. And Before the Coffee Gets Cold, this one I expected to be very emotional, and I did get very emotional, especially in like certain chapters featuring certain, characters and their stories. And I was trying hard not to cry because I was walking my dog. I was walking Mac, the dog that we would dog sit often. During one of the chapters that was very emotional. I was trying not to cry outside like early morning. I remember reading this and I was like, I shouldn't do that, but book that made you laugh the most. Now, I don't really have a book right now that I remember like really making me laugh. A lot of books that made me like feel good and, a little bit giddy, a little bit happy. But I will mention My Senpai is Annoying. This one is just so cute. So cute. Also, The Other Merlin by Robin Schneider. This is a gender-bent queer Knight's Tale retelling following Merlin's twin sister who's bisexual and falls in love for Arthur, who is this librarian type of guy, and it has a lot of like really funny moment in the book. So most surprising 5-star read is People We Meet on Vacation. Again, I enjoyed beach read and a lot of people love beach read, and so around that time I had really high expectations for this one, and around that time I did like it, but I didn't love it as much as other people did. So I was like, I don't know if I'm going to love People We Meet on Vacation because it's her newest release. And I read it and I was really skeptical because I love a good friends to lovers romance, but it's rarely ever well done in that it doesn't feel underdeveloped. It doesn't feel like these two are really just meant to be, and it just feels like where the two characters could easily have just gotten together and you didn't really see like the struggles that they have as to why they hadn't been together already type thing. But this one you can definitely read, especially you can see my tabs as they really get to know each other throughout the years and seeing what they view love as and what they view their relationship as. It really feels like, they have a lot to lose if they do end up together, and it's so painful because it feels like they really like were soulmates, type thing. So, and the best nonfiction that I've read, aside of course from Intuitive Eating, this one I read 2 years because I read 3 other editions of this book before this one, so I was like taking my time with this one, but this is highly educational, something that I feel like everybody should read because the diet culture is so ingrained in our society that a lot of the things have been accepted by us in general that we shouldn't accept. Aside from this one, is Don't My Name by Chanel Miller. This is beautiful written and poignant and moving, so highly recommend this one. Again, I have the copy. My copy is with my mom, so those are all of the questions that I'm answering for the reading survey. I tried to make this as fast as I can. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you on my next video.